right, and then we don't need any specific equipment, but if you feel like your balance is not 100% today, you can have a chair handy towards the top of your mat. You can also place yourself if you have an open space with a countertop, like if you have an open kitchen, that can work well too. But you don't necessarily need it. It's just if balance on your toes is not your favorite thing, if it doesn't feel great today. If you are following on that playlist that YogaFoot puts out, lets you know what music will be playing, you're free to pull that up on your Spotify. If not, no worries, you don't have to have music, or you can have whatever you want in the background. My music will be really, really soft. It is the playlist that YogaFit sent you, and I will cue you when to press play. But my end will stay really quiet. It probably really won't show through on your end much. All right, it is 12 o'clock, so if you are just joining us, a chair can be handy, a countertop can be handy for balance. It's not necessary though. I am Kate, if we have not officially met in person. I teach yoga and fitness classes all over the Twin Cities. I've been with YogaFit for many years now, and I teach all the formats. So today, our studio is my home, so welcome. And we will start in an extended child's pose. If you are following on that playlist, though, have it handy before you settle in, because we will press it together and I will count down for you. All right, it'll be in 3, 2, all right, press play. Now, come to find your extended child pose. Bring your toes together, bring your knees wide, your forehead to your mat. Crawl your fingers forward on the floor. Now grip the mat tightly with your palms, pull your shoulders down your back, feel your spine grow longer. Take a deep breath in, take a big sigh out. Full body inhale and full body exhale. Let go. We are in the middle of some very hard, very scary times. So it's more important than ever to carve out time for yourself, just to give yourself a little self-care. And you did that today, so fully be here. You have 45 minutes on your mat, use it. Take another deep breath in, take another slow breath out, noticing the way it feels as the air enters and leaves your body. Maybe it's the rise and fall of your back as you breathe. Those physical sensations help hold you present. So if you feel distracted, if your mind starts to wander during practice, come back to those physical sensations to hold you here, wherever that may be. Take another deep breath in. Take another slow breath out. Flip your palms upwards towards the sky. Set an intention for your practice. An intention is something that motivates you, something that inspires you. Maybe it's what brought you to your practice today. Whatever that thing is, see it clearly in your mind. Release all the air from your lungs. Take a deep breath in, fill all the way up, and send it out with a great big open mouth exhale. Then seal your lips, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. Give your forehead a roll back and forth across the mat, releasing tension, releasing pressure. When you're ready, move forward into a tabletop pose. Draw your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Push into the floor, feel your shoulders round. Now, keep your shoulders strong and engage your core. In yoga, we call it Uddiyana Bandha, core lock. Pull your belly button to your spine, lift it towards your sternum, and zip your ribs together. You will keep that engagement all practice long. Inhale, dip your belly, lift your gaze and your tailbone, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, hollow out your belly, cat pose. Inhale, cow, drop your belly, tailbone points up. Exhale, cat, hip bones pull up and in, tailbone points down. Do a few more of those on your own. Move with your breath. You can make those movements bigger or smaller as you need. Start to notice the areas in your body that feel really good, really strong, really powerful today. That's where you get to push your practice further and perhaps grow a little bit stronger. Find the areas in your body that maybe feel a little sore or tight or uncomfortable. Those are the areas where you give yourself permission to modify or step back. Now, come to find a flat back in tabletop. Put a little bend to your elbows. Keep your shoulders strong. Curl your toes underneath you. Lift your knees an inch or two from the floor and hold right here. Keep your gaze towards the floor at the top edge of your mat or your space. Bring weight forward into your fingertips and push into your toes. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. You are letting heat build in every muscle fiber in your body. Just 4, 3, 2, lift your hips, find a downward facing dog. Bend your right knee, send your left heel towards the floor, sending breath and energy into the belly of your left hamstring. And then switch, put your right heel to the floor, bend your left knee. Draw your shoulders down your back, then switch, and continue that motion, pedaling out your feet. All right, then pick up your left foot, give your ankle a few circles in one direction and then the other. Set your left foot down, lift your right foot, take a couple circles one way and the other. Set your right foot down, come back to your downward facing dog, take a breath in, take a breath out. Inhale, send your right toes high. Exhale, bend your knee, open through your hip. Now you can stay right here and hold the stretch or find some big circles with your knee and hip for more mobility. Put more weight into your right hand for balance. Reverse the direction of the circles if you took them. Next breath in, stretch your toes high, close off your hip. Exhale, low lunge, step forward. Come down to your left knee. Stretch your right hand high, keep your left hand planted. Roll out your wrist, bend your elbow. You can take some big circles with your shoulder if you like. Bring those circles both ways. Now, stretch your right fingertips high. Feel that twist through your spine. Keep the twist and rise. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Pull back with your right hip. Push your left hip bone forward and sink a little deeper. Take a breath and let it go. Inhale to crescent moon. Sweep your right arm forward and then both arms lift high. Exhale, drop your shoulders away from your earlobes. Broaden your upper body. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more big inhale. Exhale to a runner's lunge. Bring your hands inside of your right foot. Move around a little side to side or take some big circles with your hip. You can walk that right foot out wider if you want more stretch. All right, palms to the floor. Curl your left toes underneath you. Lift your knee. Step your right foot back to meet the left in a plank and hold. Hip bones pull up and in. Push into your toes. Bring your entire body forward. You have the option for your knees here. Keep the hip bones up and in, resisting the urge to dump into your low back or stick your butt out behind you. You're building strength in your belly. Just 4, 3, 2, lift your hips high, come back to downward facing dog. Take a breath and let it go. Inhale, send your left toes high. Exhale, bend your knee, open through your hip. You can stay and hold and breathe or find those big circles. A little more weight in your left hand. You take the circles, bring them the opposite direction. Next breath in, stretch your toes high, close off your hip. Exhale, low lunge. Come down to your right knee. Your right hand stays planted, lift your left hand. Circle your wrist, bend your elbow, find those big circles with your shoulder if you like them. Bring them both ways. Now stretch your fingertips high, open your chest wide, feel the twist, keep the twist. Squeeze the muscles in your belly and rise. Shoulders upright over your hips. Now, pull the left hip back. Push your right hip bone forward. Feel the stretch in the front of your right thigh and your hip. Lift your chest. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Inhale, crescent moon. Left arm sweeps forward, both arms high. Exhale, drop your shoulder blades down your back. Pull your hip bones up and in. Feel your lower back lengthen. Breathe in. Breathe out. Full body inhale. Exhale, runner's lunge here. Plant your hands on the inside of your left foot. Move around, find some circles with your hips. You can walk the foot out if you need a little more. All right. Bring your palms to the floor if they're not there. Curl your right toes underneath you. Lift your knee. Step your left foot back to meet the right in your plank. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Keep your gaze forward. Keep your neck long and neutral for 4, 3, 2. Lift your hips into down dog. Take a breath and let it go. From here, come forward into your plank and then lift your hips high, down dog. Move with your breath. Inhale forward. Exhale, lift them high. You're further waking up the muscles in your core, in your belly, so keep it strong. Your lower abdomen pulls your hip bones up and in, pointing your tailbone at the sky. 4, 3, last 2. Do it one more time through, and then find your plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, set your knees down. Walk your hands to the outer edges of your mat. Have your hands a little wider than shoulder width. And then come forward into that modified plank position. Hip bones pull up and in. From here, find half of a push-up, just halfway down to the floor, then lift back up. Halfway down and lift, halfway down and lift. Now you're starting with a smaller range of motion, just waking up the muscles in your chest and your upper back. Keep your entire body moving forward rather than just lowering your chest to the floor. Everything comes down, everything lifts back up for 4, 3, final 2. All right, press it back, puppy dog pose. Chest to the floor, hips high, take a breath in. Take a breath out. Come forward, back to that same position from your knees. Hip bones up and in, arms nice and wide. Find your full range of motion this time. Come all the way down and all the way back up. Now, in your full range of motion, that could mean just an inch below that halfway point. It could be 3 inches below the halfway point. If you can make your chest meet your mat and push back up with control, that usually is a good sign that you're ready to do push-ups from your toes if you haven't already. So you can try that here. From your toes, hip bones stay up and in. Find that full range of motion. You got it. Just 4, 3, final 2. Hold it low, hold it low. Knees or toes, it's up to you. You pulse right at the bottom, little squeeze. It's bar class, so we have to pulse everything. Squeeze and squeeze. You are one long line from your toes or your knees through the crown of your head. Keep your neck nice and long. Pull the crown of your head forward. 4, 3, 2, lift your hips back behind you to puppy dog pose once more. Crawl your hands forward, grip the floor, pull your shoulders down your back, take a deep breath in, take a slow breath out. All right, come forward to tabletop, curl your toes under, lift your hips, and now take tiny little steps forward until your toes are behind your wrists. Bend your knees, drop down low into your hips, then lift your hips high. You bend and lift and bend and lift. Squeeze the muscles in your thighs straight down to the bone. Keep weight forward in your toes. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep your hips lifted. Soften your knees and roll up the stand 1 vertebrae at a time. Your chin will be the last one to lift. Give your shoulders a few shrugs up towards your ears and down your back. Bring them forward. All right, bring your arms out to a T and start stepping side to side. Now, don't overthink what your feet are doing. You're just keeping your legs moving. Now, from here, I want you to find a really big circle with your shoulders. Circle to the back, full range of motion. Good, and then bring those circles forward. All right, now reverse the circle, bring it to the back and make it about half that size. It's a little smaller, a little more control. Switch the direction of those circles, keep them that same size. Stretch your fingertips as long as you can in both directions. Reverse the circle, make it even smaller. Now, keep your arms as long as you can. It's a great big giant wingspan. Squeeze your ribs together, lift your chest, keep your shoulders away from your ears. Reverse the direction of those little circles, bring them forward. It's like the size of a baseball. Pull your hip bones up and in, keep your chest lifted. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause right here with your hands. Keep stepping your feet side to side. Do you feel the caps on your shoulders building a little heat? Now keep your wingspan this big and start to push your hands down towards the floor. Pretend you are moving through wet cement. As you push, you are creating your own muscle resistance. So resist the urge to flap your arms and bend your elbows. It's not a flapping movement. That's the next class. This one you just push and squeeze. Keep your chin lifted, keep your neck long. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Now flip your palms up towards the ceiling and push upwards. As you push up, your shoulders naturally want to start to creep up to your ears, so drop them back down. Keep your spine as long as you can. You got it. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. 4, 3, 2, bring it to the back. Press your palms behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try to keep your wrists in line with your shoulders rather than letting them fall or bringing them way up top. It's straight out to the sides. You squeeze and squeeze. Good. Pull your collarbones away from each other. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Now flip to the front. Squish it in. There's a surge to bend your elbows. They really like to bend in here. It's not opening and closing. It's pushing forward. You got this. Who even needs weights? You don't need weights to make your arms burn. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Water pitchers. Rotate your hand to the back and to the front. So here, it's just a small movement. You're going through your rotator cuff. Keep stepping your feet out side to side, but don't overthink it. You got this. If it doesn't feel like your arms are going to fall off yet, keep going. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. 4, 3, 2. Bring your arms down. Nice job. A little shake and do a little stretch. Now, I want you to step your feet really wide. Heels in, toes out. Bend your knees. And when you bend your knees, check to make sure that A, you can see your toes in front of your knees, rather than your knees covering your toes. It's a really wide step. And make sure that your knees and toes are in the same line instead of your knees caving in or pressing back. With your knees bent, it should be like you are flat against a wall. Your shoulders remain over your hips, not sticking your seat out behind you. If you feel like your seat's comes out behind you, I want you to lift out of your hips. Even if it's a smaller range of motion, keep that alignment. Hip bones pull up and in. Get as low as you can get in your hips, then stand back up, down, and lift, and down, and lift. You can bring your hands to your hips. You can bring them out to the side if you want them to ache a little longer. Wherever you are, press your knees back as they bend. Imagine lifting the arches of your feet slightly. It's like you're pushing more weight into the pinky edge side. 4, 3, 2, hold it low, hold it low. Put your hands onto your thighs and dip your right shoulder down. Press your knees back, take a breath in. Take a breath out. Dip your left shoulder down, the right shoulder back. Breathe in. Breathe out, dip your right shoulder. Dip your left shoulder. Do it one more time to the right. One more time to the left. Come back through center. Hip bones pull up and in. Lift out of your hips a little so you can sit upright. Now, as you extend your legs, your right arm stretches up and over. Come back down through center. Left arm stretches up and over. Down, lift and stretch, down, lift and stretch. Keep engaging through your belly. Do not let that core lock go. It's not a passive stretch here. When you start to feel the muscles in the sides of your abdomen build a little heat. Bring it down and stretch, down and reach. This is 4, 3, final 2. Do it one more time. All right, come back to the center, stand all the way up. Bring your feet in until your legs zip together tightly. Squeeze everything in. Hip bones pull up and in. If balance is not fantastic, this is where a chair can come in handy. You can place a hand to the chair. Other hand can be on your hip. Arm could be overhead if you want it to get tired. Both arms can come overhead. From here, find a calf raise. Lift your heels off the floor. Keep them pulling together. Then tap the floor. Lift, tap the floor, lift, tap the floor. Keep your heels and toes connected. Come straight up and straight back down. So as you lift, shoulders remain over your hips. Rather than pushing into your support, that balancing thing, whether it's the chair or the counter, and coming forward. It's straight up, straight down. And you're just simply tapping your heels to the floor rather than resting. Don't rest here. Build the heat in your calves. 4, 3, 2. Keep this one up. Lift your heels. Then come down about halfway until your heels hover from the floor and find a little bounce. This is called a pulse, a little squeeze right at the bottom. Up and down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, set your heels down. Now keep your heels connected and pivot your toes out. It's a small V shape with your feet. Same thing here. Lift your heels and lower. Bring it up and tap, up and tap. Now, when you come back down, connect your heels each time. You continue to zip your legs in. You're actively pulling everything in and lifting. You got it. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. We call this a releve in barre. 4, 3, hold it high. In 2, keep it lifted. Find that same little pulse here, little squeezes. If it feels like you're gonna get a Charlie horse in your calves, you may. You can always take a break and set your heels back down. It's always okay. 4, 3, 2, set the heels down. This time, pivot your heels out. Now your feet are parallel, about hip-width distance apart. Last time through, lift and tap and lift and tap. Straight up, straight back down. Remember your options. Your arms can come overhead if you feel like your balance is really strong today. You can keep a hand on your chair or counter, but keep your feet parallel. Notice if your knees want to turn in or more likely out as you do that. Really engage through your thighs. You squeeze them straight down to your femurs. All right, we're almost there. 4, 3, 2, keep it lifted. Find that pulse. Last time through, little squeezes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, shake it off. Now face the top of your space. First position, heels and toes out. It's that V shape with your feet. Bend your knees. Make sure that your knees line up with your toes. Your heels stay connected. Hip bones pull up and in. Now lift and lengthen. Zip your legs together. Bend and lift and bend and lift. As you bend your knees, you press them back. Your hip bones stay up and in to keep your spine long. Good. You got it. Get down low. Your heels stay connected to the ground here. It's 4, 3, 2. Do it one more time, and now bend your knees and hold. Here, now you lift your heels, and then slide them together so that they touch. And not only do they touch, I want you to actively squeeze your heels together and feel your inner thighs engage. You can absolutely hold on to your support system here. Come down 1 inch, and up an inch, and down an inch, and up. It's small, little lower, little lift. Keep pressing your knees back. Keep your shoulders upright over your hips. That movement is really small. I mean, tiny, tiny, tiny. So it's down 1 inch, up 1 inch. It looks like you're barely moving, but it feels like a whole lot of burning in your thighs, and that's the idea. Don't relax the grip of your heels. Keep squeezing. Tiny movements. Lift your chin. Relax your shoulders. You got it. Almost there. 4, 3, 2. Last one. All right, set your heels down, lengthen your legs, give them a shake. Step your left foot back, open out to the side. If it helps, you can go on the other side. That part of it won't matter. Just make sure you can still see your screen if you need it, if you cannot fully hear me. Heels in, toes out, bend your knees and stretch. And bend and stretch. Same thing as before, your toes are out in front of your knees. It's a really wide stance. Keep squeezing the muscles in your thighs and your glutes to move you rather than just bending and straightening your knees. Because if you bend your knees all day long, it feels not so great and you don't get the same muscle workout. You squeeze as hard as you can to stand back up. Just 4, 3, final 2. Do it one more time. And you stay down low. Once again, you lift your heels. Use your balance if you need it. Come down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, and up. It's that tiny, tiny little movement. Tailbone to the floor. Chest is lifted. Press the knees back. You got it. Little lower, little lift. Deep breath in, full breath out. If your legs start to shake, that's perfect. That's what you're going for. And if your legs are not feeling that shake yet, I want you to get lower in your hips. Perfect, just like that. 4, 4, 3, final 2. Do it just one more time. Set your heels down, stand up. You can give them a shake. Now, pivot to the top of your mat once more. First position in your feet. This time, slide your right foot forward. Keep the turnout in your hips. Pull your right heel in an inch or 2, and so your right heel lines up with your left big toe. Now put all the weight forward into your right leg and bend your knees a little. Your left heel will lift probably as you do that, and that's okay. You don't want to feel any strain in your ankle or your knee here. Keep the weight in that front leg. Stand all the way up. Straighten your legs, then bend. Lift and bend, lift and bend. So as you move, you're keeping the weight in your right leg. The left toes are simply on the floor to help maintain the balance. But if you were to lift your toes off the floor, nothing would change in the way you're feeling it in that right thigh. Up and bend all the way up. All right, it's 4, 3, last 2. Here, hold it low, bend your knees. All right, now I want you to keep your right heel planted to start. Start with a bent knee, come up an inch and down an inch and up an inch and down. That same tiny, tiny movement. So it's different from a pulse in that you're not having that bounce. This is a controlled movement, little lift, little lower versus the bouncing movement. If you want more, you can always lift your right heel from the floor and continue those same controlled movements. That's gonna make it more intense. Find your breath. All right, you're almost there. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Set your heels down if they lifted. Bring that right heel all the way in and connect it to your left big toes. So now you have the turnout in your hips, your inner thighs, squeeze in towards each other and slightly forward. Hip bones are forward. From here, this is called 5th position. Bend your knees, then lift. Bend and lift, and bend and lift. Press your knees back. You're really pulling them behind you. That creates space for your pelvis to come straight down rather than having to stick it out behind you. Straight down, straight back up. Knees stay in line with toes. Continue to engage through your thighs. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the bend in your knees. Now, from right here, try lifting your heels. Come down an inch and up an inch and down an inch and up an inch. It's tiny. It's controlled. Your legs are never all the way straight here. Keep pressing the knees back. You got it. Lift your chest. Lift your chin. Keep it small. Remember, it looks like you're barely moving. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Set your heels down, stand all the way up. Give your legs a good shake. Find first position in your feet, then slide the left foot forward. Bring the left heel in an inch or 2 so that your left heel lines up with your right big toe. Put a little bend to your knees and put all the weight into your left thigh. Your right heel can lift here. Stand all the way up, then bend. Lift and bend and lift and bend. So this is called 4th position with your feet not connected, but same idea, knees press back to keep your tailbone coming straight down. Coming back to that idea of if you were sliding down a wall, straight down, straight back up, rather than leaning forward and sticking your seat up. You got it. Zip your legs in as hard as you can as you stand, make it active. 4, 3, final 2. Do it one more time, now bend your knees. All right, from here, it's down an inch and up an inch and down an inch and up. Keep it small, keep it controlled. And if you really want, 100% lift that left heel, make it harder. This class time is only 45 minutes. So if you want to push it, please, please do. Squeeze it hard as you can. Your inner thighs are still pulling in each and every time you lift, even if it's a small lift. That engagement is what builds that strength. It's what's building the endurance and you're stabilizing muscles that are holding you. I'm using words to distract you because I know you're tired. 4, 3, 2. All right, bring that left heel in. Your left heel connects to your right big toe. You bend your knees, press them back, then zip it all together to stand. Bend and lift, and bend and lift. And really listen to your knees here. If you feel any sort of a pull underneath your kneecap, peeked up. Make sure that your knees line up with your toes and that they're not out in front of your toes because that will add twist to your knee. It won't feel great. Let us try making a smaller movement. It doesn't have to be huge here because you are creating the resistance by how hard you pull. So even if you make it a small bend, as long as you're pulling it in, you're working your muscles. No matter where you are, you breathe. 4, 3, final 2. Do it one more time. Bend your knees. Lift your heels. Come down an inch and up an inch and down an inch and up. Little lower, little lift. You got this. Your quads might feel like they're gonna fall off and that's perfect. That's exactly where I want them to be. Not falling off, but feeling like they're going to. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Yes, you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, set your heels down. Get your legs in good shape. All right, find that really wide-legged position. Heels in, toes out. We call it second. Get down as low as you can in your hips. Then stand back up. Get down and lift and down and lift. Think of it more of an active stretch than anything else. You're working to open your hips back up after all those small movements. After this, we're going to the floor, so that's exciting. It's 4, 3, 2. All right, stand all the way up on your legs in. Sweep your arms overhead at the top of your mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, find a little back bend. Open the front line of your body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Pull the crown of your head forward. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to a plank and breathe. In through your nose, out through an open mouth to release heat. It's 4, 3, 2, lower all the way down to your belly, all the way down. From here, roll onto the right side of your body. Your head can rest on your arm. Your hand can come underneath if that helps you feel more supported, but do relax your neck. Now bend your knees, bring them slightly in so they're at an angle from your torso. Extend your left leg all the way out and flex your toes, pull them back towards your shin. From here, you lift your left leg up and lower. Lift and lower, lift and lower. I want you to find your hips full range of motion. That means that your hips don't change as you move. So try putting your left hand to your hip right now and feel it. You can feel the muscles working, but the hips themselves don't move here. That's the idea. Keep your foot flexed. Drive your heel out behind you. You got it. All right, this is 4 and 3. Last 2. Do 1 more, and now find about halfway to your highest point. From that halfway point, you find a little pulse. It's a little squeeze up and down. Now keep your knee turned forward. A lot of times here it likes to open up. It will turn your entire body open to the ceiling. You keep it forward and you can put your left hand on the floor if that helps to balance you out and keep your hips stacked. Little squeezes, you're almost there. Deep breath in, full breath out for 4, 3, you hold in 2. All right, hold it steady, hold it steady. Point your toe. Now make a tiny circle forward. It's like the size of an orange. It's not very big at all. Control the movement. And then reverse that orange, bring it to the back. You have to squeeze your glute, your butt cheek a little harder to bring the foot back in space. All right, now switch the direction, bring it forward. This time make it a little bigger. Now it's like the size of a melon, a honeydew, or a cantaloupe. Don't let your hips move, just the muscles work. Do 2 more circles here, then reverse, bring that melon to the back. Squeeze your left glute hard. Make sure your core is engaged here. That's going to help stabilize your hips. 4, 3, 2. All right, here you reverse the circle, make it big. Now it's like the size of a watermelon. It's a big watermelon, a family size one that you bring to a picnic. The bigger the circle is, the harder it is to control your hip movement. Do 2 more big circles here. Bring those watermelon circles to the back. You got it. You can press into that left hand for support. Pull your belly button towards your spine. 4, 3, final 2. Do 1 more big circle. Nice job. All right, bring the knee in. You can give your left hip a little rub if you need to. All right, then roll directly onto your back. Just roll onto your back. Walk your heels in towards your seat. Then pull your hip bones up and in. Pull them towards your ribs. It's a little scoop of your pelvis from the floor. Extend your arms forward and flip your palms up towards the sky. Roll your shoulder blades off of the floor. So now you have a small C curve in your spine. Shoulders stay lifted. Tuck your chin. Keep your pelvis rounded. Find a little pulse here. It's a little squeeze. Think up and down 1 inch. Up and up. Keep your lower back planted into the floor. If you want a little more, you can absolutely lift your shins off of the floor. You can extend your legs if you want even more work here, but do not let your shoulders touch the floor. You got it. Find your breath. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up, hold it up. Extend your fingertips forward. Keep that roundness, that slight little C curve to your spine. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out, lift an inch higher. Hold right here for 4, 3, final 2. Roll back down, bring your arms overhead, extend your legs, find a long body stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Roll onto the left side of your body. I'm gonna flip around so that you're not staring at my back side, but you can simply roll over. Same thing here, find a place to rest your head. Knees come slightly in, your right leg extends long, flex your toes. Here you lift and lower, up, back down. Now, find your hips range of motion. Again, that means that your hips are not moving here, just the right leg. Everything else is solid in your body. Keep the knee forward. If it starts to turn up, it becomes a cheerleader kick, and that's not going to build muscle. It might look really fantastic, but it doesn't do much for your body here. Squeeze. Squeeze. It's like you're moving through wet cement. Make it as hard as you can in both directions. You push and you pull. Belly button draws in tight. This is 4 and 3. Last 2. Do it one more time. Now, from here, you come up about halfway, and you find that little pulse. Keep flexing your foot. Your toes pull back to your shin. The sole of your foot is flat. You're driving the heel forward. Squeeze and squeeze. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. You got this. All right, it's 8, 7, 6, and 5. Just 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Point your toe. Make that little circle forward. It's the size of an orange. Not very big. Nothing else moves in your body. Reverse the orange. Bring it to the back. Keep it small. Keep it controlled. So good. This is 4, 3, 2. All right, you reverse the circle, bring it forward. Now it's the size of a honeydew or a cantaloupe, your preference. Keep pulling your belly button in, keep your core engagement. 2 more circles forward. Now you got 8 circles to the back. Ready, here you go. 8, 7, 6, and 5. Last 4, 3, 2. It's a watermelon to the front. Big, big circle forward. You can do it. I swear, keep pushing your toes forward. If you start to get a cramp in your foot, flex your toes back. It looks like a Barbie doll foot. That will stretch out the arches of your feet. It's a big watermelon to the back. So by pointing your toe, there is a purpose to it. It's helping to engage your quad a little more, which is going to help out so your hip flexor doesn't get overly exhausted. You're almost there. 2 more big circles. All right, bring that knee down. Nice job. Give your hip a little rub if you need it. And you roll onto your back. Find a little bit of core work, and then we stretch it out when we're done, just like that. Now, bring your heels in towards your seat, just like before, but this time lift your shins and make them parallel to your mat. Knees are over your hip bones, not into your chest. Keep them parallel. Push your lower back into the floor. Now extend your arms straight up overhead, palms face each other. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Extend your right arm all the way overhead. Extend your left toes long in front of you. Drop back to the center, knee stacks over your hip. Left arm overhead, right leg extends long. Center, extend, center, extend. So as you move through these movements, you can go fast, you can go slow, but do watch the knees. They want to pull into your chest as you move, and that is cheating. You have to keep it over your hip. That's where the work comes in. As you lower your leg, you're working to hover it from the floor. It's okay if it doesn't hover. If you keep it higher, it will be less intense. If it feels like it's very confusing, like your brain can't comprehend which arm and which leg to be utilizing, you are not alone. It's like trying to rub your belly and pat your head at the same time. It's hard to do, right? Your brain has a hard time making limbs do opposite things, but it's really good practice for your brain. It helps to encourage new pathways firing through your neurons. It also helps turn on all your stabilizing muscles, which is kind of the point of barre anyways. So as you move, your brain needs a split second to work it out. And so everything fires up and turns on to support you in that split second. Keep breathing. 8, 7, 6, and 5. Last 4 and 3. Just 2. Do it one more time. Bring your knees to your chest. Rock a little side to side. Take a breath. And let it go. Now come back to that same starting point. Knees stack over your hips, shins parallel to the floor. Interlace your fingers and place them behind the base of your skull. Pull your elbows back so they touch the floor here. Your lower back stays plastered to the mat. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Lift your shoulders off of the floor. Keep your elbows back just like when you are resting on the ground. Don't let them pull in towards your face. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Your right shoulder crosses over. Your right leg extends. Pause here and breathe. Left knee stays over the hip, not into your chest, and you're working to hover your foot from the floor. Right elbow pulls back. Lift an inch higher. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to the center. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, twist your left shoulder over. Extend your left leg long. Pull the left elbow back. Keep your chest open. Right knee is stacked over the right hip. Lift an inch higher. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Center, twist, center, and twist. This is your bicycle twist. You can go fast. You can go slow as long as you move with control. If you want more, you can scissor your legs. They extend long rather than bend. Still don't let your leg come past the hip bone. We don't cheat here, even though we're at home. If you want even more, you extend opposite hand towards opposite ankle. No matter where you are, pull your belly button towards the floor. Move with your breath. Press the backside of your head into your hands to keep your head back and not strain and pull in on your neck. You're almost there. This is your last push before we stretch. Deep breath in, slow breath out. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Find a long body stretch. Extend your legs, point your toes, breathe in, breathe out. Full body inhale, and a full body exhale. Good job. Tuck your knees into your chest. Rock up and down the length of your spine a few times. When you get to the top, come forward to tabletop and give your belly just a little stretch here. Hips come forward, hip bones up and in, little bend to your elbows. Lift your heart, lift your chin. Breathe in, breathe out. One more big inhale. Exhale, press it back to tabletop. Step your right foot between your hands and walk your hands up to your thigh. Interlace your fingers and push into your leg. Drop into your hips. And you should start to feel a big stretch in your left thigh and hip flexor. You did a lot with those muscles today. So this stretch is fantastic for it. Sometimes you don't notice it right away. It'll creep up on you. You go and you sit down for a little bit and then you go to get up again. You're like, holy moly, what happened? So come back to this stretch later today if you need it. It will help. If you need more, you bend your knee, bring your heel in. If you need even more, you can pull that foot in. Take a breath in. Slowly let it go. Big inhale. And exhale, release it down, kind of half splits. Hips come back, flex your right toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold towards your leg. Soften your knee for less sensation. Dig your heel in, gently pull back for more sensation. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep pulling your toes back. Lengthen your spine. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Walk it forward. Right foot comes back. Left foot steps forward. Walk your hands up. Interlace your fingers. Push into your thigh for a big lift through your chest. Settle into your hips. Pull your left hip back. Push your right hip forward. Allow that stretch into your right hip, your right thigh. If you need more, bend your knee. You can pull it in. Something you can do at home as well with this stretch, if you need a lot, press this back shin into a wall and lean into it that way. That allows a bigger lift in your chest The more lift in your chest, the more that stretch is going to travel up your body. Send breath into that hip flexor for one more big inhale. One more exhale. If you have your foot, gently release it. Hands come down to the floor. Hips back. Flex your left toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold towards your leg. And here, you are working to keep a flat back versus just rounding forward. So pull your chest to your thighs. Pull your shoulder blades down your spine. Extend your neck as long as you can. Take one more breath in. Take one more breath out. Crawl it forward, step the left foot back, crawl through, roll down your spine. You can hold onto your legs for support as you do. Happy baby is where we meet. Knees wide, grab the inside or outside edges of your feet and rock a little side to side. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Full body inhale and a full body exhale. Draw your feet together, draw your knees together, wrap your forearms around your shins and give it a great big giant squeeze. Lift your shoulders, tuck your chin and reach your forehead to your knees. Let go of all of the air from your lungs. Take a deep breath in, go all the way up. Exhale, release and find your Shavasana. Spread out, take up space, let go. Now, this is your time for Shavasana. Spend as much time as you like here. Feel your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Open and close your jaw a few times. Now, it can be hard to carve out that time for yourself. It can be hard to stay present in any given situation. But I do encourage you to slow it down. Staying present is one of the most important things you can do right now, just for your own peace of mind. John Newton said, we can easily manage if we will only take each day the burden appointed to it. But the load will be too heavy for us if we carry yesterday's burden over again today, and then add the burden of tomorrow before we are required to bear it. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about yesterday. Just be here. Thank you for allowing me to practice with you today. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your day. It truly is an honor. And to you, I bow. Namaste.